Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you know how we do it over here. Yes, we do our super thanks first. Why? Because these people, they take time out of their day and they decide to support the channel, which means everything. It does. So let's play that beautiful bean footage. All right, y'all. I want to give a quick shout out to all the readers who decided to come on through and support the channel. Y'all are so appreciated. Never, 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 never think that I don't appreciate what you do for this channel. Y'all are ride or dies, and I am so grateful and so thankful for each and every one of you. And first up is 08065. Yes, my girl who is so faithful and is always supporting and always in the comments, just sharing her knowledge and sharing her good nature. She is so upbeat and so sweet, and she is such an asset to this community. So thank you, 08065. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being a part of this community. And Hilda T came through. Yes, Hilda T is just so special. She is. She held me down when I needed her. She came through. Hilda T is just so kind and so sweet. And she is, like I said, very faithful. And I am so grateful and so thankful to have her as a part of this community. She is just a shining star. She really is. So thank you, Hilda T. Thank you for the super thanks. But most of all, thank you for being here. And Lorna McKenzie came through. Yes, Lorna came through. Lorna is everything. She is. She is always coming through. She is always supporting. Now, she's not in the comments all the time, but she is right there supporting in the background. She is so kind and so sweet and so faithful, and I am so lucky to have her as a part of this community. So thank you, Lorna. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being a part of this community. And the one, the only Eulette came through. Yes, Eulette is so faithful. I don't know what I did to deserve Eulette, but I am so happy that I did it because she is just absolutely one of the kindest and sweetest and just faithful. If I go in those comments, I know I can depend on one thing, and that is seeing you lit. She is just everything, and I am so grateful for her. So thank you, Ulet. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here, and thank you for being you. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets. And I'm telling you, the streets are kind of quiet. They are. But you know me, I'm going to dig something up to talk about. And that something is Willie and Charles and their relationship. These articles are coming out and they're just saying stuff that squatties have been saying for over a year. I mean, it's not like squatties have an inside track or some kind of source in the palaces. No, we know these things are going on because we pay attention. And one of the articles that came out is that Willie and Charles barely speak. We already knew that. We have been talking about this, for the past 3 years or so? Yes. Squatties have been talking about this and talking about this. This is not news to us. This is just a receipt. That's it. It is old news because we have been calling this out forever. Squatties noticed about a year and a half back that Kitty and Pippa was not besties anymore. I mean, it was so many signs, so many breadcrumbs leading to this conclusion. And finally, they have come to a conclusion enough to write an article about it. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about how they are openly discussing how Harry should separate himself from Invictus. I kid you not. These people are so jealous of Invictus and Harry's achievements. See, Harry was supposed to be the typical spare. Yes, the loser. The one that effed up all the time. The one that had no accolades, had no interest in achieving any accolades. Just the quintessential spare. Someone that they can use for the scapegoat all the time. The one that they will use to feed to the wolves. Yes, that one. The one that would happily go up under the bus when needed, as long as you continue to support him or her in their bad habits. See, spares are not supposed to create something like Invictus, and that is the reason why they're actively talking about taking Invictus away from him. They took Cinnabali away from him, and now they want to take Invictus, not because of anything except he does not fit the mold of the usual spare. Harry even did something that is totally and completely unheard of as a spare. Harry married a woman that absolutely outpaces the heir's wife by any measurement that you use. And because of this is why they continue to talk reckless about Harry. See, Harry is not the typical spare. Harry is the spare that is better than the heir. Harry can jump higher, run faster, outthink, outwit, outcharm Willie at every turn. And boy, they have a hard time with that fact. I mean, crash out after crash out after crash out about Harry outpacing Willie and Megan outpacing Kitty. For God's sake, Megan is lapping Kitty. Let's be honest. We're going to talk about it. And of course, we got some other stuff we're going to talk about. Y'all know what y'all need to do. Y'all need to lock in and understand. I'm not going to keep you long, but I will keep you entertained. And we're going to start with this. And y'all know we have been saying this for a while about people. That people is turning into a magazine. I said that maybe a month ago. I saw in the comments where one of our readers had called People Magazine People Magazine. And boy, it is proving itself to be exactly that. Look at this. It says Scarlett Johansson's sleeveless sweater is surprisingly easy to wear now and into fall. Meghan Markle proved it too. What does Meghan have to do with Scarlett Johansson? I mean, am I missing something? And isn't Scarlett Johansson a big enough star to carry a title of an article on her own? I mean, why are you putting Megan's name in the mix? And this is the reason why they say that Megan is everywhere and nowhere at the same time because people are constantly with her name in their mouths. And it doesn't have to have anything to do with her. We talked about this in my last podcast where that awful, dreadful, tragic Amanda Patel wrote an article and included Megan's name into something that had nothing to do with her. Is this some kind of plan or plot to get people tired of Megan seeing her in the news all the time? Or is this just a money grab trying to get views and clicks? I really feel two things can be true at the same time. I think they are using Megan's name for clicks and views and also trying to get people weary of her. It is just all so diabolical to me. I don't see them doing anybody else like this. If you know of someone else that they do like this, please put it in the comments. Enlighten me because it seems like her name is tagged in everything. And I might be wrong. It might be a good thing. I might be just being sensitive, but I just find it diabolical just to plug her name in any headline to try to get someone to click on it. And these two squatties commented on what people did and said Megan's name must have a strong SEO, which stands for search engine optimization of any public figure in the world because the way they use her name for the most random headlines. Exactly. I mean, everybody must be checking for Megan. That's pretty much what this squatty is saying. Because why do you just plug her name in every headline? I mean, it can be some random stuff, and they'll put Megan's name in there, and it is for the SEO, for the views and clicks, because she has strong name recognition. I wish something could be done about that. It irks me. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but it really irks me. Every time I see a headline that has Megan's name in it that doesn't have anything to do with her, yeah, it irks me. Doesn't Scarlett's name carry weight? Yes. You telling me that Scarlett cannot carry a headline of an article or a post? Boy, like I said, people must really be checking for Megan because they have to use her name alongside someone like Scarlett Johansson. I'm just saying, our girl is bad. She is. She is absolutely a boss. And our prince, he is a boss as well because his name came up on the Family Feud. I kid you not. Harry was a question on Family Feud. And of course, people wrote about it. When did people start to write about every little thing that happens with Harry and Meghan? When Harry and Meghan sneeze, when Harry and Meghan uh, hurt their toe at night when they're on their way to the bathroom and they hit their little toe. When all of this detailed reporting happened with People Magazine, or should I say People Magazine? Yeah, but I'm glad they reported this because I always love little things like this. I do. I love Family Feud. And I am just so happy that our prince is just a part of American culture because Family Feud, it is just as American as apple pie, baseball, and hot dogs. It really is. Family Feud has been on ever since I think I've been alive. It is a old game show. I mean, I can't even tell you how many hosts that this game show has had, but it is quite a few. And the present host is Steve Harvey, and people wrote about it. Like I said, it says Prince Harry was a Family Feud question. Here's what the women said they found most attractive about him. And as you can see, the number one answer was face and smile. Yes, he does have a very kind face and a great smile. Number two was money. Number three was his red hair. Number four was royalty and power. And number 5 was his accent. Yes, I love this. Tell me what y'all think about it, but I just found it so much fun. I love that number 1 answer. And this post is about that closeted troll, Nile Gardner. He has continued to try to pursue Prince Harry's visa information. He filed a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit to try to get more information about Prince Harry's immigration status. And as you can see, back in late June, he was posting over there on X, formerly known as Twitter, about all these documents he was expected to get from the federal government on Prince Harry's visa information. And as you can see, he posted, looking forward to the release of these documents. It says court filings reveal that officials have spent months processing 307 documents totaling 2,487 pages. That is what he was expecting to get. 2,487 pages. At least that much. And so it came out today. And as you can see, he got 2 pages. He got the cover page and he got the back page. He got none of it in between. And this squatty highlighted the reason why he got nothing. Well, he got 2 pages. It says the State Department made first interim production in this case on July 30th, 2026, in which it identified 18 responsive records, all withheld in their entirety. And then it gives the statute of why they had to withhold it. I cannot. He really tried it, did he not? He tried it. He really thought he had found the secret sauce to unlock Prince Harry's visa information. He really did. And it ends up he gets 2 pages. 1 page telling him that he is not getting anything, and the back page just tells him who was involved in the case, like the U.S. Attorney General. I cannot, y'all. This is just too funny. You have to give it to him. He absolutely has some stick to itiveness. Or is it just that stubbornness that those people have who really hate on Harry because he had the audacity to leave that family? They're just that mad that they cannot make themselves move on. Is Willie and Kitty not enough? Is Charles and his horse not enough? I mean, it's as if Harry took something away from them by leaving. And they just absolutely have lost their minds. You can't tell me this is not crazy. This man, and I use that term loosely, has been pursuing Harry's visa information ever since Spare was published. And he's saying that because Prince Harry admitted to past drug use in Spare, that's his justification to try to get his visa information to see how he answered the drug question on his visa application. Yes, this is what he has been pursuing for what, 3 years now? And has been shut down at every turn, but continued to come back and come back and come back. I don't get it with these people. Did they somehow think Harry was their property? It's as if Harry is a runaway slave. That's the way they are treating him, like he is their property and he has somehow escaped up north. It is the craziest thing to sit back and watch from the outside looking in. And this squatty posted the 2 pages that now got for filing his Freedom of Information Act lawsuit and said Prince Harry's visa FOIA case update. Wonder why Nile Gardner hasn't posted about his victory. Yes, because before this information came out, before he got his 2 pages, he was just thumping his chest and pumping his fist on X, bragging about what was to come. And now we get silence. Yes, we get crickets. You hear them? When I tell you he has nothing to say, he is absolutely on hush mode. And I just love that for him. I do. And we're going to change gears. And I want to ask you, do you remember this? It was in my, Sunday podcast. And I posted this video of Meghan and Harry coming into a room. It's behind the scenes footage. And Meghan is very surprised and very pleased about seeing all the people there with their bagpipes and their drums. And she just simply says that her husband loves the bagpipes. And I kid you not, the Times wrote a whole article about that statement. I'm going to play the video just to jog your memory, and then we're going to talk about the article.
How much my husband loves bagpipes.
You kind of know.
Oh my gosh.
This is great. So we're mine.
Yeah.
Pipes and drums. It's pipes and drums. Just to be clear.
Thank you.
Now, do you remember what I am referring to? Yes, that little incident right there where Meghan, just a throwaway line, said, "My husband loves bagpipes." Well, look at this. Times wrote a whole article about it. I kid you not. This irrelevant couple, I just can only imagine how these rags would act if Harry and Meghan was relevant, because they keep telling us they're irrelevant, but Meghan can make a throwaway line like my husband loves bagpipes, and they write a whole article about it. I mean, am I tripping, or is this just weird that everything that comes out of Meghan's mouth goes into a article, but yet and still she's irrelevant? They write a article about everything that she does or says, how she looks, what she has on, if she absolutely has shoes on or not, flats or heels. Any minute detail about Meghan, they write about it. And yet, and still, they still continue to try to gaslight us into believing that somehow she's irrelevant. Why are they still trying to gaslight us about that? I mean, they have been caught out. When a woman can walk through a room, say a throwaway line, and in a few days, it is written about in an article. I don't know too many people who are considered irrelevant that they do that to. Do you? I mean, they need to stop with the gaslighting. But I digress. They wrote the article, and Kaiser does what she does. She writes an article about an article, and this is the title of the article. It says, Times. If Prince Harry loves bagpipes so much, then why isn't he in Balmoral? Yes, they said that. If he loves bagpipes so much, why isn't he in Balmoral? Could it be because he hadn't been invited to Balmoral since the Queen died? Could it be that? I mean, the gaslighting. The gaslighting is real. And this is what Kaiser says about this article. She says, as you can imagine, the British media cannot be normal about it, meaning that Meghan just said, my husband loves bagpipes. The Times' Shane Watson wrote a whole ass column called Meghan says Harry loves bagpipes. So why isn't he at Balmoral? A whole article. Meghan says Harry loves bagpipes. Why isn't he at Balmoral? I mean, a whole ass article, as Kaiser put it. They cannot be normal about anything. When it comes to Harry and Meghan, they are weird. And this article goes on to talk about Shane Watson and what he wrote in this article. Basically, the first part of the article, he talked about the video I just showed y'all, and how Meghan just walked through the room and said, my husband loves bagpipes. And this is what he said. Once again, we, the Sussex watching public, are left scratching our heads and wondering why. Why is Harry in British Columbia chatting up a local pipe and drum band when he could be, when he would have been, at this very moment in the heart of bagpipe country, immersed in the real thing from morning to night? Yes, saying if Harry hadn't left, he would be able to be in Balmoral, where all the real bagpipe players are. And I'm not going to argue the point that Balmoral isn't the place for bagpiping, because didn't bagpiping originate in Scotland? So, of course, I'm sure they are great at it, the best. So, I'm not going to argue that point. But why does it bother him so much that Harry is in British Columbia? I mean, they have a right to play the bagpipes and the drums. But this is what he said. What is he doing fanning about listening to a average band play, and then he goes into the different songs. I can't pronounce them, so I'm not going to try. It says in between a charity auction and a conjure and a comedian or whatever, when he might have woken to the sound of pipes this morning, listening to mass pipes and drums at Wiener games, sipping a cocktail on the terrace with a piper piping on the ramparts, and had a piper piping outside of his bathroom while he got ready for dinner. So basically, what he's saying is, Harry, you could have had all of this. You're missing all of this. If you love bagpipes, why aren't you at Balmoral enjoying all of the bagpiping over there? You know, they want it so bad. And what am I talking about? They want Harry to want them. They want Harry to want to come back. They want him to miss being a working royal. I'm telling you, when Harry left that small island nation, it broke them. It really did. And they really want Harry to want to come back. I mean, it's as if they just cannot get their head around that he has left. I mean, it's been almost 7 years and the wound is still there. They want him back. People do not write articles like this if they don't want to be missed. They want Harry to feel something. And Harry, every opportunity he gets, he shows them that he feels nothing. Y'all remember in that video when Harry was in the army. I think he was like in his very early 20s. I think he was like 21 years old. And it was during Christmas time, and they were asking Harry what did he miss about home. And Harry twisted his head like the RCA dog and went blank. Yes, he couldn't come up with anything. Harry acted as if they had asked him to solve world peace. His face went blank. You could tell he couldn't come up with anything. I mean, it was so funny. He could not come up with anything. Y'all remember that? I mean, he couldn't come up with one thing he missed about home. Right then, we should have known. But I digress, and I want to put this little tidbit in there as well. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but Charles do not have an alarm clock. He does not. He does not have a clock. He has a royal bagpiper. In the morning, whatever time Charles wants to get up, the royal bagpiper comes out and plays the bagpipes to wake him up. He doesn't have an alarm clock. And from that time forward, I think the royal bagpiper comes out every hour on the hour until a certain time at night. And after that, he starts again in the morning. If I'm wrong and you know how it works, please put it in the comments. But that's my understanding that he has a royal bagpiper because when the queen died, I remember this article saying that Charles had to choose his own royal bagpiper. And I was like, royal bagpiper? Yes, the monarch does not have an alarm clock. They have a royal bagpiper to wake them up every morning with the sound of bagpipes. What y'all think about that? And this is what Kaiser said at the end of the article, and I tend to agree with her. She said, Watson keeps going, suggesting that Meghan is the one that furiously demanded that Harry never step foot in Balmoral. Now, see, this is what these people do. And this is the Times. This is not the Daily Fail. This is not the Daily Express or the Mirror. It is the Times putting on the pages of their so called prestigious newspaper. How did Harry put it? The once respected Times? Yes, the once respected Times is now no more, no less than the rest of those rags over there. They all shield for that family. They all prop that family up. They're all on one page. They are all on one mission, and that is to blame Meghan for everything. Meghan walked through a room, said a throwaway line when she saw all of these bagpipers lined against the wall. She just simply said, like I said, in a throwaway line, my husband loves bagpipes. And then they write an article about it and attack her in it, saying that she didn't want her husband at Balmoral, even though Harry has not been invited to Balmoral since the Queen died, and Meghan wasn't invited then. Let's not forget, Charles on the phone made it perfectly clear that Meghan was not welcome at Balmoral. Kaiser went on to say, conveniently forgetting two vital pieces of information. King Charles banned Meghan from Balmoral just minutes after Queen Elizabeth II's 2022 death, and Charles has never invited the Sussex family to Balmoral during his reign. Why isn't Harry in Balmoral? Because he was never invited, and his family was not invited. That's it. It is not some big conspiracy in which Harry is trapped in Montecito and he just stares out onto the Pacific, dreaming of bagpipes. Personally, I think the past month of hysteria over Meghan's IG post is cover for the British media's annoyance that the Sussexes have traveled more this year than any of the Left Behind royals. Yeah, and they did not have access to them at all. They didn't get to make any money off of them. And they are pissed about that. And also, they're pissed about the fact that Harry and Meghan's life, Harry and Meghan's family, is more fun. Yes, Harry and Meghan got the better of the deal. Even though Willie and Kitty have all the castles, all the crowns and jewels, Harry and Meghan's life looks more appealing. And they don't get to make money off of it. That's my thoughts. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. And the next story I'm going to talk about is them wanting to sit on panels and talk about Invictus being taken away from Harry. I saw an article where they were saying that Invictus should be given to Edward. I kid you not. And that right there, giving anything to Edward, is where Invictus would go to die. Because look at the Commonwealth Games. They absolutely was not very good. And a lot of people did not even know that they were going on. They're not Invictus. Not at all. Nothing close to it. And that family was out in force supporting. I think Edward is the patron of it. I saw him and Sophie and Willie, Kitty, and the children came out to support, and nobody cared. Do you think if Harry and Meghan, who was the president and vice president of the Commonwealth? I don't know. I think the Commonwealth Youth. What was it? Y'all tell me in the comments, but I know Harry and Meghan was the president and vice president of some portion of the Commonwealth. If they had been heading up the Commonwealth Games, it would have been a whole different vibe. The world would have came to the Commonwealth Games. Everybody would have known about the Commonwealth Games. But because of their egos, because of their short-sightedness, because of their jealousy, the Commonwealth Games is dying. And nobody in that family has the appeal, the shine to save them. But I digress. Edward has not done anything for the Commonwealth Games. How in the world would he be perfect for Invictus? I mean, I can't with these people. They are so ridiculous. And the number one reason why they're so ridiculous is that it is no way Invictus would want to replace its founder. I mean, Harry is the Invictus Games. He created them out of whole cloth. But yet and still, these people have the audacity to sit on panels talking about replacing him. Not because he's done anything, no. It's because how they say he brings travesty to the organization. Yes, very people who create the travesty and the chaos around Harry and Meghan are trying to blame Harry and Meghan for the chaos and travesty around Invictus. I mean, that is rich. And this coming from Richard Maureen Eden is more than rich. But I digress. Let's get into this article. The title of the article is Eden. Prince Harry should step down and distance himself from Invictus. And it is written by Kaiser at Celebici. And I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm just going to give you the gist of what they're saying. This was on that old crazy show that they have over here on the YouTube. I think the title of it is the Daily Mail Palace Confidential, and they had Richard K on there, and Maureen and Big Back Becky, and all of them was discussing Invictus, which I don't understand why they feel it's their business, but okay. And they were saying that Harry was using Invictus to coerce his own father, okay, to come and be a part of Invictus. I kid you not. These people are the strangest people. They act like Charles is not Harry's father and not the head of state of the United Kingdom, where the Invictus Games will take place in Birmingham in 2027. It is the craziest thing. And y'all know the story broke, I think it was maybe a week or so ago, that they said Harry invited Charles to the Invictus Games. But we know it was the Invictus organization invited Charles to the Invictus Games, which is nothing new. This is what they do. Every country that the Invictus Games is in, the Invictus Games organization invites the head of state. And the head of state comes to the Invictus Games. We have saw it time and time and time again. But they want to try to make it a big deal and say that Harry is coercing Charles into going and being a part of the Invictus Games because the Invictus Games committee invited the head of state of the United Kingdom, Charles. I can't with these people. These people are crazy. I'm going to read a portion of this, and it says, on the latest episode of the Daily Mail's Palace Confidential, royal expert Richard Eden and Richard Kay examined claims Prince Harry's camp is using public pressure to coax King Charles into appearing at the 2027 Invictus Games in Birmingham. The pair was responding to a column in the Mail this week by their colleague Amanda Patel. That's the one that was so batshit crazy, talking about if Charles attends the Invictus Games, his people will never forgive him. I mean, crazy stuff like that. These people are completely off their hinges. It says the pair was responding to a column in the Mail this week by their colleague Amanda Patel, who argued the king should refuse his son's request after details of the invitation appeared in the press. No, she did not suggest that. She did not argue that. She said if he accepted the invitation, the people would never forgive him. That makes me speechless. This is the hyperbolic language that these people are using surrounding a simple invitation that Harry and Invictus extends to every, and I mean every head of state. I will be so glad when Invictus comes and goes and looks towards North Korea. I absolutely am sick of these people already. It says diary editor Eden suggested the invitation had been planted by Harry's PR team in hopes that it would push the monarch into making an appearance. In evidence of the claim, Eden pointed to Mail on Sunday's editor at large, Charlotte Griffith, who said last year she was fed favorable stories by the Sussex Advisor. I don't believe that for 1 minute. This woman is a known liar. She lied on the stand in the case, in Harry's case against the Mail. She had to say that what she had been saying for years and years and years was a typo. Yes, and then come out with this old nonsensical story that Harry put a white pill on her tongue. I mean, this woman is totally and completely certifiable. And all of those people over there at the Daily Mail are crazy. And then he had the nerve to say this: regardless, Eden argued that the controversy already surrounding an event still 11 months away was reason enough for Harry to consider stepping away from the games altogether. He had the audacity to fix his lips and say something like that. The people who create all of the chaos, all of the controversy surrounding Invictus, has the nerve to say Harry should step down because of controversy. Not controversy that he has created, controversy that they have created. I cannot tell y'all how happy I will be when the closing ceremonies for the Birmingham Invictus Games comes to an end and everyone starts to look towards South Korea. And Kaiser said this in her conclusion. Kay noted how unusual it was for an engagement to surface so far in advance. Harry really got their arses. Now they can't lie and claim that they wasn't told about the date or that there was a mix up with the invitation. They put the ball in Charles's court. Exactly. Because y'all know they're famous for saying that they already had something in their diary, that he can't come because his diary is planned a whole year ahead of time. Well, he was given the invitation a whole year in advance. So I agree with Kaiser. Yes, they put Charles in the corner, and now it's up to him. He can either go to the Invictus Games and be the head of state of the United Kingdom, or he cannot go and be the trash father and the trash king and the trash head of state that we all know that he is. And I want to add one more caveat to the conversation. Harry has nothing to gain by Charles attending the Invictus Games. Not at all. But Charles has a lot to gain if he attends the Invictus Games. He will look very magnanimous. He will look like a king. He will look like the head of state of the United Kingdom, a commander in chief supporting his troops. And he'll look like a father supporting his son. So Charles has a lot to gain going to the Invictus Games. But if I had to bet money on whether Charles will attend the Invictus Games, I would bet against it. And I say that because if Charles continues to be the Charles that we know, he's probably going to choose not to go because at every crossroads in his life, he has always chose the wrong road. And why, oh, why would this time be any different? All right, y'all, we're going to change gears and talk about this article about Kate and Pippa and their falling out. No surprise to squatties. We've been saying this for what, 2 years now? But finally, we're starting to get some receipts. And Zanny Sussex posted this article, and the title of the article is Royal Watchers Think Kate Middleton and sister Pippa may no longer be speaking. Now, Zanny posted the archive link. I did not go to the article because I already knew this. They're not going to tell us anything that we don't already know. But Zanny said it looks like even Pippa finally had enough of Kate's never-ending mean girl antics. Pippa's pretty much distanced herself from Kate since 2014. See, we already knew. It seems fake cancer was a step too far for Pippa, and she wanted no part of it. Kate is a woman without a single friend and whose own sister wants no part of her. That tells you everything. Where's the lie? I mean, she does not have a friend. I imagine Kate over there at Forest Lodge, wandering around there, just her and the staff, because the children are boarding. And she is just at Forest Lodge, just cosplaying Megan and talking to the bees. Yes, I bet you that is her life. And studying Megan on film like she is a part of her university studies. Because we all know she absolutely does that. And Feminagra wrote an article about this as well. And the title of the article is Kate is always asked to fix William and Harry's relationship. What about her relationship with Peppa? Exactly. We always get article after article after article about how Kate is the peacemaker, how she is extending an olive branch to Harry, how she wants William to have a good relationship with his brother. She's the peacemaker. She's the peacemaker. But yet and still we hear nothing about her making peace with her own sister because we can see something is definitely wrong. Now, I'm not going to read the whole article, just a portion that I just found very interesting. And this is what it says. Every other week, we seem to get another story about Kate Middleton supposedly trying to repair the relationship between Prince William and Prince Harry, as though she has somehow become the royal family resident expert in reconciliation. Yet the press rarely applies the same curiosity to Kate's own relationships, particularly her apparent distance from her sister, Pippa. Pippa was notably absent from Kate's recent Christmas Carol event and perhaps even more strikingly, did not appear during Kate's phony, and I put the word phony, three-peat challenge. Kate completed the National Three-Peat Challenge in late June with her brother James Middleton also taking part and supporting her along the route. At the finish, she was greeted by William, Prince George, Prince Charlotte, Prince Louis, Carol, and Michael Middleton, as well as James. Given how prominently other members of the Middleton family appears, Pippa's absence has led to some royal watchers to question whether the sisters are still as close as they once seemed. I can answer you that right now, and that's absolutely not. When Kate was in the hospital, allegedly, with her performative cancer, and Pippa was on the beaches of a tropical island with her two booty cheeks hanging out, I knew right then things had changed between the sisters. And then Pippa came back and said that Kate was not sick in the traditional way. And ever since then, we have not heard nor saw anything of Pippa. Now, these two squatties commented on this article, and the first one said, yes, she did say while she was out frolicking on vacation that it wasn't that kind of cancer. Basically, that is what Pippa said, but I think she said it like Kate was not sick in the traditional way. Yeah, and I agree with her. Pippa might just be sick of Kate's SHIT. And this squatty has such a great point. They say arrogance, egotistical, superiority, all character traits that gets under the skin of people who truly know who you are and where you started from. I think that's pretty much is where Pippa is coming from. What y'all think? I really think that squatty hit a chord. All right, y'all, I want to talk about this article that SK posted. And the title of the article is Prince William Barely Speaking to King Charles After He Ditches Abdication Plans. The father and son have had a furious fallout, with Prince Harry at the bottom of it all. Now, I didn't read the article, but we all know what it's about. Willie wanted Charles out, and he thought Charles was going to abdicate. But Charles rallied, started to get better, and then snatched all the power back from Willie. And now he is brooding, he is unhappy, he's snatching curtains out of the windows, he's rolling around on those 400-year-old rugs and choking out butlers because he is upset that his father is not dying or abdicating because he wants to be king, not because he's going to do anything with it, just so he can have the power to try to lord it over Harry, who lives 5,000 miles away. I have said this time and time again, Willie will be coming to America once he becomes king. Now, I don't know how he's going to work it, but he is going to figure out a way to try to steal Harry's thunder. But I digress. This is what SK says. Reportedly, Prince William is furious with King Charles because he didn't abdicate to make way for him, and mainly more angry now than normal because Harry's father spoke to Harry. Charles, tighten up on the food tasters. I hope Charles lived to be 100. So do I. So do I. William feels that once again Harry is eclipsing important royal business. With talks about abdication selling out the window, William really can't wait to be king to show Harry. I don't know what he thinks he's going to show Harry, who lives 5,000 miles away, makes his own money, lives in his own house, and minds his own business. But, delusional minds. You know how that goes. This squatty reposted SK and said, Poor bitter William is not ready and never will be fit for purpose. Not a Christian thought in his head, ever. Definitely zero evidence of education and being a Christian scholar. Neil, acts of kindness never, yet thinks he should be handed the job as the Christian leader. Please. Exactly. Exactly. He is going to be the head of the church, but he shows no kind of grace whatsoever. And he is so vengeful and evil and absolutely just seem bound and determined to destroy everything that has anything to do with his brother. I have just never saw anything like it. He wants what his brother has. He wants to incorporate everything that is Harry. He wants to copy everything that is Harry. He wants Harry to have nothing. He wants to keep his foot on Harry's neck. That's the only way he is happy. Me shows no grace, none. And this man is going to be the head of the English church. What do you think about that? And this right here is the last article I'm going to talk about. And I found it very, very fascinating. And I'll tell you why. This is a recent article. And it talks about William's anger and how bitter he is. And I believe every bit of it. He is exactly that, bitter. The title of the article is Angry William's Behavior Reportedly Tearing Kate Apart, as sources claim she doesn't know what to do. Well, all I can say is if she doesn't know what to do, I'm going to tell her she needs to run. Run, girl. Run like Forrest. As her husband is consumed with bitterness. Yes, he is bitter. He is angry. He feels like he is somehow being done wrong because Harry is not a failure. Harry is more successful. Harry has the better wife. Harry is more respected. Harry is a global advocate that is respected on the global stage. Harry is more revered. And because of that, he is bitter. He thinks everything that Harry has should be his. And I believe, including Meghan. Yes, he is absolutely crazy and delulu. And like this article says, bitter, just consumed with bitterness. This excerpt says this: she stood by William through many difficult moments, including Harry and Meghan's explosive accusations in their Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan, and Harry's memoir Spare, where he claimed William physically assaulted him after an argument about Meghan. Though she knows William is angry, Kate also sees his pain. Kate recognizes that underneath the bluster, William is in a lot of pain too. The insider continued, deep down, he still loves his brother, and no one even imagined that they would still be estranged after these years. And this squatty posted about that article and said, Christopher did confirm what Prince Harry alluded to in Spare. His brother is a psychopath. Prince Harry has dealt with and is dealing with his mental issues from childhood. Willie Boy hasn't. That makes him a loose cannon, and I believe that's how Kate got her head scar. Now, I'm not going to comment on that, but I will say this. A lot of people believe that. I'm just saying, I'm going to leave it there. Y'all make your comments of what y'all think. But yeah, people are saying it out loud. And this squatty posted about this article and said, anyone who thinks that Kate, George, Charlotte, and Louis are safe in the house with a man who assaulted Harry in his home, whatever happened with Kate's eye in December of 2023, and the articles almost monthly that describe William as angry, vengeful, etc., aren't paying attention. Now, what y'all think about that? People are talking. The streets are talking. I'm just saying. And we're getting articles like this. All right, y'all. Y'all know I love to end on a positive note, and I saw this post, so I am going to end with it. It says, the British media and the royalists hate the fact that Prince Harry openly loves his wife, Meghan. He smiles when he sees her, he holds her hand, he opens her door, and he has no problem showing her affection in public. Harry walked away from a toxic family for love and to protect his family. The haters and the naysayers are just going to have to stay mad. Prince Harry and Meghan won. Love wins. Yes, and I just love this picture of Harry and Meghan. All right, y'all. Y'all know I just love, love, love spending time with y'all. And I will be back really, really soon. And if you want to support the channel, it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All you have to do is go down below, look for the three dots, click that, and you should see the super thanks. And if you see the hype button, hype your girl up. Yes, because it helps so very much. It pushes the podcast out into the algorithm and it is able to be seen by new eyeballs. And that is the way we gain new members of our tribe. Yes, so hype your girl up. Also, if you want to be a channel member and a part of the reading club, it's a link below as well. And if you're watching on television, you can click my picture, click join, and you can become a channel member that way as well. Now, I have so many ways in my bio. If you want to support the channel, I have PayPal, I have Zelle, I have Buy Me a Coffee. And if you don't want to have anything to do with YouTube, you can catch me over to patreon.com/The Royal Read. I have a reading club over there as well, or just join for free because I'm posting over there, especially when I can't post something on the YouTube. I will post it over there so y'all can get to see it. So, yeah, go over there and snag up a free membership or support your girl. Either way you want to do it. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.